Hello, hello. Welcome back to the mat. Today we are continuing our chakra journey. If you are just joining us and you have not been following along and you have no idea what chakras are, there is a blog post linked in the description below that will give you an overview of the chakra system and all 7 chakras. Today's practice is focused on the 4th chakra, the anahata or heart chakra. If you've missed the first 3 chakra practices, I invite you to go back and check those out. That'll be your root chakra, the 1st chakra, the sacral chakra, your 2nd chakra, and your solar plexus chakra, your 3rd chakra. And then come back and join us for this practice focused on the heart. We'll be working on some heart opening today, also known as backbending. For this practice, you will want to have 2 yoga blocks, so make sure you have those handy. If you don't, go ahead and grab those now. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more free yoga. Now go ahead and unroll your mat, and I will meet you right here in a tall, comfortable seat. Alrighty, we're just going to take a moment here in our seat to settle, sort of arrive here on the mat. So as you find a tall seat, one that feels comfortable on your legs and your hips, invite the eyelids to close and start to bring left hand onto the heart center. So just to the left of the physical heart, so the spiritual heart, so right at the center, and then the right hand will come on top of the left. Starting to bring our awareness right here into heart center, and the location of the anahata, the heart chakra. And the element for the heart chakra is air. So as we practice today, trying to find a sense of lightness in our movements, in our transitions, and in our breath. And envisioning a bright emerald green right here at heart center. We'll open this practice with the anahata chakra bija mantra, or the seed mantra, which is YAM, Y-A-M. Chanting it 3 times. Feel free to join me during any one of these rounds, or to simply listen. Deep breath in. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. And gently opening the eyes, moving the hands, and we will begin on our backs with our blocks today. So bringing the blocks into your hands, and we're going to bring one block just underneath the shoulder blade. So for all the ladies out there, sort of where your bra strap is or would be, that block is going to come onto the earth, and you will lie back on it with it in that location. So you might have to move around a little bit and feel for it. The second block will come underneath your head, and you can bring both blocks on the same height if that feels okay. If that feels like too much, you can lift the block underneath your head so that it is higher than the block underneath your back, and that will make this a little bit less intense for you. So decide the height you would like on both blocks. Find the positioning that works for you, and the arms will rest really wherever feels comfortable. So you can bring them by the sides of the body. You can maybe try to bring them up into cactus arms or goalpost arms. That'll give you a bigger stretch in the chest and the fronts of the shoulders. And the legs, again, can really be wherever's most comfortable. So you can leave the soles of the feet flat on the earth. If you'd like, you can extend the legs long. And if you'd like to invite some gentle hip opening, you can bring soles of the feet to touch and allow the knees to open out wide. So starting here in a gentle heart opener. And see if you can continue to envision that bright emerald green glow at heart center, shining love out from your heart and receiving love into your heart. We'll take just 2 more breaths right here. And then from here, wherever you brought the legs, go ahead and bring soles of the feet flat onto the earth. And you can begin to sort of roll towards one side, so that you can move the blocks out from underneath you and then come to lie on your back once again, setting the blocks out to the side. And then from here, you can hug the knees into the chest, giving them a loving squeeze. Maybe a gentle rock side to side as you check in with the back of the body. From here, go ahead and make your way into a tabletop position. So getting there however feels best for you. So coming onto hands and knees, stacking the shoulders right above the wrists and the hips right above the knees. We'll move through cat-cows here. So as you inhale, drop the belly, lifting the gaze and the tailbone. And exhale, round the spine, pressing the earth away, bringing the chin towards the chest. Inhale, arch. And exhale, round. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, round the spine. 2 more like this. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, pull the shoulder blades back and down. Exhale, feel the shoulder blades spread. And go ahead and find a neutral spine. And from here, we'll come into a twist. So as you inhale, open the right arm all the way up to the sky, opening the chest. And exhale, thread the right arm underneath the left, bringing the right shoulder onto the earth, the right side of the head onto the earth. The left hand can stay right where it is, or you can extend the arm long over the left ear. Maybe you come into a half bind, finding a variation that feels nice with that left arm. One more breath here. And If you took a variation with the left hand, go ahead and bring it back in front of the face. Press down into the palm. Open the right arm all the way up to the sky. Once again, open the chest. And then release the right hand to the earth, and we'll switch sides. So inhale, open left arm up to the sky, opening the chest. Exhale, thread the left arm underneath the right, left shoulder to the earth, left side of the head to the earth. Right hand can stay where it is. Maybe you come into a variation with the right arm. Bringing right hand back in front of the face if you moved it. Press into the palm. Lift up, open left arm to the sky. And exhale, release left hand to the earth. And from here, make your way into your downward facing dog. Lifting the hips up nice and high. Checking any movement that feels good here in this downward facing dog. Bending of the knees, pedaling the feet. Checking in with the calves and the hamstrings. From here, on your inhale, come forward into a plank pose. Shoulders right above the wrists. Strong plank, gazes towards the front edge of the mat, belly pulling up towards the spine. The legs are really nice and active. The tailbone is reaching back towards the heels. Take one more inhale. And exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Two more like this. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, back. Inhale. And exhale. Alrighty, come forward one more time, plank pose, and we're going to slowly lower to the earth on a count of 5 and 4. 3, 2, and 1. Coming all the way to the belly. We're going to come into some cobra waves. So opening the hands out wide, and go ahead and tent your fingers. So I like to call these cupcake hands, because it's like you've got cupcakes underneath them and you don't want to squish them. So don't squish your cupcakes. Keep the fingertips nice and strong. And we're going to roll up into cobra spine. We'll take 5 of these. So make sure feet are together. Tops of the feet are pressing firmly into the earth. Forehead can come onto the mat. You're going to lead with the back of the neck. On your inhale, roll it up, cobra. And exhale, roll back down. Inhale, roll it up, opening the chest. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, down. 2 more like this. Inhale. Shine the heart forward. Exhale, roll down. 1 more. Inhale up. And exhale, roll it back down. Alrighty, from here, bring hands underneath the shoulders, palms flat. So go ahead and smush your cupcakes. And then tuck the toes underneath. Begin to firm up the legs. So the kneecaps will lift towards the hip points. Firm up the belly. Pull the shoulder blades back towards each other. We're going to press up into a plank pose. So firm up the entire body. Take an inhale. And then exhale, press it up, plank pose. Take an inhale here. And exhale, downward facing dog. Go ahead and begin walking feet up towards the hands. Finding hip width distance between the feet. Bringing a gentle bend into the knees and letting the torso and head hang heavy. Maybe finding a gentle sway with the torso, shifting the weight on the feet forward and back, side to side. And from here, we'll come into a chest and shoulder opener. So you can bend the knees deeply so the torso rests on the legs. Bring the hands back behind you, clasp them, and then pull the hands away from the back as you straighten the legs a little or a lot and drop the crown of the head towards the earth. We're really pulling the shoulder blades back towards each other. Finding some opening into the chest and the front of the shoulders. And then releasing hands to the earth. Take an inhale to lift halfway, lengthen crown of the head forward. And exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, stay right here, bringing hands onto hips, keeping a bend in the knees. Inhale, come up to stand with a flat back. Finding your Tadasana mountain pose at the top of your mat, so big toes are touching. You will have a small gap in between your heels. Pulling the shoulder blades back and down, standing up nice and tall. From here, Utkatasana, chair pose. Bend the knees deeply, lifting the arms up high. Making sure that the weight is back in the heels. You should be able to see your toes just past your knees if you look down. And from here, we'll flow into some Ardha Utkatasana as half chair. So take an inhale here, lift the chest high. Exhale, keep the legs low, fold the chest, bring the arms towards the back of your mat. Inhale, lift the torso, lift the arms, and exhale, fold. Stay low in the legs. Inhale, lift. Exhale, Ardha Utkatasana. Inhale. Exhale. One more like this. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, Utkatasana, and exhale, stand. Beautiful. Go ahead and hook the thumbs in front of the body. Take an inhale, lift the arms up high, maybe finding a gentle back bend, shining the heart up towards the sky. And exhale, fold down over the legs. Step the right foot way back. Inhale, open the chest towards the front of your mat. Exhale, plant the palms, step the right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank pose. Exhale, lower the knees, and then the chest, and then the chin. Inhale, slide forward, coming into a cobra pose. And exhale, downward facing dog. Stepping the right foot in between the hands, open the chest towards the front of your mat. And exhale, step left foot up, forward fold. Hook the thumbs, inhale, rise to stand, gentle back bend, shine the heart up. Exhale, fold right back down over the legs. Left foot steps back, inhale, open the chest. Exhale, step right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, lower the knees. Chest and chin. Inhale, slide forward, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot between the hands. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, right foot steps up, fold over legs. Hook the thumbs, inhale, rise to stand, open the heart. Exhale, bring hands into heart center. Close down the eyes. Take a moment standing tall. Check in with the breath. Feel the heart beating in your chest. Opening the eyes, releasing the arms by the sides of the body. We're coming back into our Utkatasana chair pose. So find the pose, bending down into the legs, lifting the heart. And then from here, so you can stay right here in your chair pose, or you can come with me as we play with lifting the heels, coming onto the tippy toes. So staying low in the legs as you come onto tippy toes. And we'll play with those Ardha Utkatasana. See if you can stay on the toes here. So inhale. Exhale, lowering the torso. Inhale, lift the torso, lift the arms. Oops, stay on the toes. Exhale, lower the torso. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, Ardha. Inhale, lift the chest. Drop the heels. Stand up tall. Whew. I'm feeling that in my quadriceps. I bet you are too. Let's make our way back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, arms go high. Exhale, fold down over legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the gaze. Exhale, plant the palms, step back into a plank pose. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, option to lower the knees or lower halfway chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. From here, we're going to step right foot in between the hands, and the left knee is going to come down to the earth. If you need some extra padding for the left knee, you can fold over your yoga mat, bring some extra padding, or if you want to grab a blanket or a towel, maybe a small cushion to place underneath the knee, please feel free to do that. So once you feel steady here, we're going to lift the torso, lifting the arms, finding Anjaneyasana. Notice if you're kind of just dumping down into the hips and pull the pubic bone up towards the navel so that the lower belly is firming up, and while keeping this active from there, maybe find a little more depth into the hips. So protecting the lower back as we come into this pose. From here, we're going to take a side lean. So maybe you place one of your blocks next to your right hip. If you want to just let the arm hang next to the body, that works as well. So the right arm comes down, left arm is high. Take an inhale, lengthen crown of the head to the sky. And as you exhale, lean towards the left. Just a little bit, not a super intense lean. We're just bringing a bit more sensation into opening the left side and into the left hip flexor, all the way down into the left quadricep. Inhale, lift the torso back to center. Bring the left palm down next to the right foot. Open the right arm to the sky. Take a twist towards the right leg. Press the earth away with the left arm. Pull the shoulder blades back and down. Opening the chest towards the right leg. You can stay right here. If you'd like to bring more opening into the left quadricep, you can reach the arm towards the back of your mat, bend the left knee, bringing the left foot into the right hand. And if you're holding left foot, go ahead and release it, bringing right hand back onto the earth. We're coming into an Ardha Hanumanasana. So start to shift the hips back in space as you straighten the right leg. And if you need your blocks underneath your hands here to bring the earth up to meet you, go ahead and bring the blocks underneath your hands. Take an inhale to lengthen, reaching the heart towards your foot. And maybe as you exhale, lowering the torso over the leg a little or a lot, as much as feels okay. Make sure that the right toes are flexing back towards your face and the right quadricep is active. Beautiful. Go ahead and rebend the right knee. You'll tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, planting the palms, step the right foot back. You can take a vinyasa here if you'd like, or you can head straight into downward facing dog. Whatever speaks to you today. If you're using your block for that side lean, you can go ahead and move it to the left side of your mat. We're going to step the left foot up in between the hands. Right knee to the earth. Lifting the torso, lifting the arms. Pubic bone up to navel, firm up the lower belly. And with the lower belly awake and active, maybe finding a little more depth in the hips. From here, bringing left hand next to left hip. You can let it hang here. Maybe have the block there ready for you. Inhale to lengthen towards the sky. Exhale, lean over towards the left. Finding opening in the right side of the body, down to the right hip flexor and the right quadricep. Inhale, lift the torso to center. Bringing right hand onto the earth. Left arm opens to the sky, taking a twist towards the left leg. You can stay right here, or maybe extend the left arm towards the back of your mat, bend the right knee, bringing your right foot into the left hand. If you are taking hold of the foot, make sure that you're still continuing to spin the chest open towards the left leg. So making sure that the heart space is nice and open. And if you have the right foot, go ahead and release it gently, bringing left hand onto the earth, and then starting to straighten the left leg, shifting the hips back in space, coming into your Ardha Hanumanasana. So half splits. Again, inhale to lengthen the spine, reaching the heart towards the left foot as you flex the left toes back towards the heart. And maybe you're able to lower the torso down a little more over the leg as you hinge at the hips. Not pushing or forcing anything here. Allowing the body to speak to you and moving accordingly, lovingly. Go ahead and rebend the left knee, plant the palms, tuck back toes, lift back knees, step left foot back, vinyasa here if you'd like it. Or maybe straight back into downward facing dog. And from here, right foot comes between the hands once again. Left knee will come onto the earth. Lifting the torso, finding your Anjaneyasana, finding steadiness here in the legs. Then from here, go ahead and bring the hands back behind you to clasp. Inhale as you reach the fist package towards the left foot and you open the chest. Continuing to pull pubic bone to navel so that the belly stays firm and awake. From here, go ahead and tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. So you're coming from a low lunge into a high lunge with the hands clasped behind you, shining the heart forward. And then from here, we'll come into a warrior three. See if you can keep the hands clasped. If you need to let them go, that's okay. We're gonna shift the weight forward, bring the left toes in slightly so that you can bring all the weight over the right leg. And then lifting the left leg, straightening into the right leg, reaching left heel for the back of your space, super actively. From here, we're coming into dancer pose. So if you have the bind, maybe you can bend the left knee, bringing the left foot into the bind, and then from here, lift the torso, press the foot into the hand. If none of that is happening, that's totally cool. Release the hands, bring the left foot into the left hand, right arm up to the sky, find your dancer pose right here. Really trying to open the heart space forward. And then let go of the left foot, extend the left leg long behind you, step it back, find your high lunge, arms lift high. Release hands to the earth, step left, right foot back, take a vinyasa if you'd like it, or head straight to downward facing dog. Left foot will step between the hands, right knee to the earth. Lifting the torso, find your Anjaneyasana. And then the hands come back, clasp them, reach the fists towards the right foot as you open the heart up to the sky. So this always reminds me of the Care Bears. So imagine your emerald green anahata chakra, Care Bear stare, sending love out into the world. Go ahead and tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee, finding your high lunge with your chest opener. And then from here, warrior three. So you can keep the bind or let it go, shifting the weight forward, bringing the right toes in slightly, bringing all the weight onto the left leg, reaching through the right heel, super active, reaching crown of the head forward. From here, dancer pose. Maybe you bend the right knee, bringing the right foot into the hands and pressing foot into the hands. Maybe you let all that go. Take hold of right foot with right hand. Lift left arm high. Go ahead and release the right foot. Step it way back, finding your high lunge. Lift the arms. Exhale, hands to the earth, step left foot back, vinyasa here, or downward facing dog. Go ahead and bring the knees to the earth. We're going to come into a camel pose. So for your camel, we're going to be kneeling, so like standing on the knees, and you might want to double up your mat or place a blanket or a towel down. So I'm going to sort of fold up the top of my mat like so to give me just a little extra cushion underneath my knees. So take whatever feels best for your knees. Make sure you protect those bad boys. We only get the one set. Coming to bring the knees onto your little crash pad. So camel pose, we'll come into 3 rounds of camel pose, and we'll move a little bit more deeply into it with each round. So for the first round, we're going to keep the hands on the lower back, finding length in the spine. So camel pose is a back bend, but I'd like you to think of it more as a heart opener than as a back bend necessarily. So focus more on opening in the heart space more so than focusing on bending into the back, if that makes sense. So go ahead and come up onto the knees, and you want the knees to be right underneath the hip point. So if you feel for the bony protrusions that make up your hip bones, you want the knees right underneath those. We'll go ahead and tuck the toes under for our first 2 rounds. So go ahead and tuck those under. And pull the pubic bone up towards the navel, so you are firming up the lower belly. You want this to stay nice and active. The hips are going to stay right above the knees. As we move into camel, the tendency is for the hips to start shifting back. We want to stay right above the knees. Take a few big rolls of the shoulders as you find some opening in the chest. And then bringing hands onto the lower back. The fingertips can face up or down, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Encouraging the tailbone down towards the earth as you lift the chest up towards the sky. So lifting the gaze gradually. Hug the legs towards the midline. So imagine a block in between the thighs. And the back bend comes from so much length in the spine, so much opening in the heart space, that you find a bend in the back just a little bit. Go ahead and lift the torso to center, untuck the toes, have a seat on the heels. Close the eyes and take a breath or two right here. Alrighty, second round, camel pose. Go ahead, lift up onto the knees, tuck the toes under, set it all up just like the first time. Firm up the belly, really strong core. Open up the shoulders, hands to the low back, finding lift in the spine, lift of the heart, hugging thighs towards the midline. And what I always say here is if you release your hand and you can feel your feet, then feel free to release both hands onto the feet. If you are here and you release a hand and you don't feel feet and you're searching for them, do not worry about it. Keep the hands on the low back. I promise you that the feet are there. They're not going anywhere. Continuing to open the heart space, lifting towards the sky. So it's like you could stamp the heart up on the sky. Coming out, bringing hands to the low back, lifting the torso, untucking toes, sitting down on the heels, close the eyes, take a breath. I always notice that my heart rate picks up in camel pose, even though it is a pose of relative stillness. The heart still really gets going. Notice the sensations in your body. Alrighty, one more, camel pose, here we go. Lifting up onto the knees. For this round, you choose if you'd like to tuck the toes under or if you'd like to keep the tops of the feet flat, depending on how those first two rounds of camel felt for you. We set everything else up the exact same way, firming up the belly, opening the shoulders, hands to the lower back, finding lift in the heart, length in the spine, hugging thighs towards the midline. And again, if you release a hand and you feel feet, go ahead, reach for feet as long as the hips are staying above the hips are staying above the knees. And if it feels okay, you can drop the head back. And to come out, hands come to the low back, lift the torso, come to sit on your heels, close the eyes, take a breath. Camel pose can be very vulnerable. The throat and the heart are open in a way that can be very uncomfortable. Notice what comes up for you in your camel pose. Alrighty, from here, if you rolled your mat up, you can go ahead and unroll it. And we're going to come into a seated twist. So shifting the weight to one side to bring the legs around in front of you. So we'll extend both legs long. Make sure you're sitting up on your sit bones and not rolling back on tailbone. If you find that you're rolling back and rounding into the lower spine, bring a towel or a blanket or a small cushion underneath your seat so you can find length. Go ahead and bring the right knee in towards the chest and then cross the right foot over the left leg. So the sole of the right foot is flat on the mat to the outside of the left knee. Flex the left toes back towards your face. Inhale, lift the right arm high, lengthen the spine tall. Exhale, twist to the right from the belly, the ribs, the shoulders. Right hand comes down. Left arm can either hug the right knee or hook to the outside of the knee, depending on what feels better for you. And the gaze will come to look over the right shoulder. On an inhale, turn the head back to center, followed by shoulders, ribs, belly. Extending right leg long, left knee comes in. Stepping left foot over the right leg, so left foot is outside the right knee. Inhale, left arm lifts high, lengthen the spine tall. Exhale, twist to the left from the belly, the ribs, the shoulders. Left arm comes down, right arm can take the variation that feels good for you. And bringing the gaze to look over the left shoulder. Inhale, turning the head, shoulders, ribs, belly back to center. Extending both legs nice and long, flexing both feet. Take an inhale to lengthen crown of the head up to the sky. And as you exhale, reach the heart for your feet as you hinge at the hips, coming into a forward fold. So trying to keep a really long, straight spine as much as you can. And when you've gone as far as you can go with a long, straight spine, if there's no pain in the lower back, then you can go ahead and fold down over the legs, allowing the hands to rest wherever feels good for you. Maybe on the shins, ankles, maybe feet, maybe on the mat next to the legs, wherever feels good. Lifting the torso up off the legs. From here, we're coming into our inversion today, which is headstand. If you are not coming into headstand or just have no interest in doing that, you can take legs at the wall and just chill there. If you'd like to play with headstand, you can come with me and feel free to stop at any of the steps along the way here, so you don't have to come all the way into your headstand. So to start, go ahead and take hold of the bottoms of the triceps, just above the elbows. This is the distance you want in between the arms as you bring them to the earth. So bringing the elbows onto the earth, and then release the arms, interlace the fingers, creating a bowl with the hands, bringing the forearms and the outside edges of the hands down onto the earth. From here, I'd like you to keep the head lifted for now as you tuck the toes and lift the hips up high. So you're in a dolphin pose variation with the hands in this bowl. You can stay right here. The head is below the heart. You are in an inversion. You will get all the benefits of an inversion staying right here. If you'd like to come a little bit further, you'll walk the feet in towards the hands. And again, the head is still lifted off the earth, so you can let the head hang here, looking back towards your feet. If you don't want to put pressure on the neck and you don't want to bring the head onto the earth, you can stay right here. If you'd like to come further, you'll bring the head onto the earth, crown of the head down onto the earth, cradle the head with the hands, and maybe tucking one knee in towards the chest as you shift forward, maybe two knees into the chest. Maybe you stay right there. Maybe you lift the legs up to the sky. If you've got the legs lifted, make sure they're super, super active, so you're reaching the heels for the ceiling or the sky above you. When you're ready to come down, you'll bring the knees back into the chest and release the feet to the earth. Bringing the knees down, you'll come into a child's pose. For this child's pose, go ahead and stack the one fist on top of the other, and then bring the forehead onto the fists. Gently turning the head side to side gently, so releasing the neck. And then from here, coming onto your back. Coming to lie all the way back, hugging the knees in towards the chest. Giving them a loving squeeze. And then taking both knees and dropping them over towards the left. Keeping the right shoulder down on the earth, bringing the gaze over the right shoulder, coming into a simple supine twist. Lifting legs to center, and then taking them over to the right. The left shoulder stays down on the earth, bringing gaze over the left shoulder. Lifting knees back up to center. Coming into a happy baby. Feet up high, taking hold of the inside or outside edges of the feet, pulling them down, and be finding a gentle rock side to side. And then making your way into Savasana. If there are any final movements that your body is craving before you find stillness in your Savasana, feel free to pause the video, take whatever it is that you need. If you are ready for Savasana, extend the legs long, feet are about as wide as your mat. Arms are by the sides of the body, allow the shoulder blades to pull back and down so that you're finding a really open heart space in this Savasana. For your Savasana today, you can go ahead and bring left hand over the heart, and then the right hand over the left. Bringing all of your awareness right here into heart center. Your bright emerald green seat of compassion and joy, of giving and receiving love. If you have more time to stay here in your Savasana, please stay. Otherwise, start to bring some gentle movement to fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Extend the arms long overhead. Take a nice long stretch. Bringing feet flat onto the mat, rolling onto the side of your choice. And using the top hand to help press you up, make your way into a comfortable seat. Bringing left hand over the heart, right hand over left, right at heart center. Closing our practice with one round of the anahata chakra bija mantra, Yam. Deep inhale. Yum, 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 yum. And gently opening the eyes, releasing the hands. Thank you so much for joining me here on the mat today for this heart chakra practice. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.